Hey, what's going on, MGTOW community? This is Vladimir Sauce, aka the Hot Pepper Pill. I hope you guys are having a great day. It is Halloween. Lots of spooky stuff going on today. All that kind of stuff. I was recently watching a video from Liberation Y, MGTOW content producer, also goes by the name Archangel. He was talking about the MGTOW X-factor, which to him is really kind of a question he was trying to answer. Why is it that certain men end up discovering the red pill, going their own way from society, leaving women behind, deciding that they do not want a marriage, relationship, children, what have you, things that are detrimental to the man himself. So he was kind of questioning why certain people go MGTOW or find this content and decide to stick to it, and other people still have these rose-colored glasses on, thinking that the Nawalt is out there, that this pink unicorn is somewhere around the corner, and if you just haven't given it enough time, you haven't given it enough effort. Shaming tactics, whatever reason to get back on the plantation and get out there and satisfy the vagina. So why is it that people like myself, like Sandman, like Turd Flinging Monkey, Spetsnaz, a lot of the other guys that are on YouTube that are a bastion of information and are just good dudes at kind of just getting all the MGTOW stuff out there in a cohesive and educational format, what caused them to not only go and strive so hard to awaken other men, but so vehemently become red pill men themselves? And obviously, like, Sandman makes a video every day. I know he gets some money from his supporters, and hey, if you can make money doing MGTOW content, you might as well do it. But his everyday video is a testament to his ongoing resolve in not going back to the blue pill world. Turd Flinging Monkey, I know he's busy, but on the weekends you can usually expect 2 to 3 videos of generally fantastic content. And like these guys, like Liberation Y was saying, they somehow have discovered MGTOW and have not gone back, have no intention of going back. Meanwhile, some men may discover the red pill or hear little inklings of it through their friends or maybe different memes on the internet, or have been through the plantation so many times to where they've just been beaten in the ass and left with nothing, divorce upon child support, upon alimony, and they still jump right back in eagerly like a happy little puppy dog wagging his tail to make the woman happy. And he was just wondering why. Why do some people take the red pill and other people just continue on their lives in happy ignorance? And I thought that was a good question. He had mentioned the environmental factors. MGTOW is a response to the rise in inequality towards males, in that women are given so much more government handouts, are pretty much deferred to in almost every situation, are viewed as the more angelic, more attractive, more women's intuition, women's intelligence, all these other things. They're viewed as the sex that has more going for them, I guess, while men are viewed as a negative, as scum, as shit. And so what causes men to break away, and what causes men to continue on treading water while weights are tied around their legs? And I don't really claim to have the answer to this. I just wanted to kind of respond to him in that, I thought it was a pretty interesting video. He was putting forth the idea that electric guitar, music itself, if you think about rock, the metal, hard rock, stuff that's on the radio today, if that was playing on the radio back in 1970 or 1965 or whatever, people would be like, oh my god, this is like the heaviest thing I've ever heard in my life, and it would probably blow them away. Meanwhile, music like Between the Buried and Me comes to an example, or Meshuggah, or some of these other guys are putting out music that's just so heavy and so intense and crazy that it's really a reflection of society and how much kind of harder things are. A lot of songs of the past are about peace and love, and in the mainstream media, a lot of songs are about, how many women can I fuck, having game, having skill, doing drugs, selling drugs, making money, being a fucking gangster, and I've never really subscribed to that. You know, personally, like the two bands I mentioned, Between the Buried in Me and Meshuggah, they're some of the top of their game as far as metal goes, and maybe this is just part of that X-factor that Liberation was talking about. The fact that throughout, in a similar story to him, throughout much of my life, elementary school, you know, I had a little fling of, like, popularity. I remember in, like, first grade, second grade, I had a couple close friends. Maybe it was the fact that I didn't know what being popular was, but going into fourth grade, fifth grade, I changed schools. Some other things were a little difficult, you know, but I never really had a whole ton of friends. I had never really been the ladies' man in, like, middle school, high school. You see a lot of these dudes walking around holding hands with girls. You know, it's like the first time where you really notice that, guys being interested in girls and more than just kind of trying to get a rise out of them, or just like, oh, girls are gross, you know, like, I don't know, things like that, as little kids say or whatever. Girls have cooties or whatever. But it's like the first time that men really starting to notice women is in middle school, and I kind of had wanted to be that guy, you know, that had all the attention from women, and I didn't. I was the guy playing video games that was listening to punk rock, that had drawn a Sharpie all over his binder, like The Offspring and AFI and Bad Religion and all those other bands that were more in lyrical content, especially, than just fucking bitches, banging hoes, and being a gangster. It was about the degradation of society, about the mistakes that we have made as humans, about the government, about all these other things that made me think and open my mind to question my reality, while other people are just so stuck into this indoctrination. And, you know, like, one thing I kind of wanted to mention, like, I never chose to find this aggressive music such as, you know, Between the Buried and Me. If you pull up a random track from them, like, let's say Alaska, you guys might find the beginning to be really cool, but at around, like, 45 seconds, it gets very, very hard. And to me, it sounds appealing. It sounds fantastic. It's very talented musicianship that I cannot replicate on my own guitar, and I find it just very appealing, to where, you know, I did not choose to find this music that my roommate, that a lot of other people find abrasive, mind-numbing, just a bunch of cacophony of noise. I find to be beautiful, and can help quell some of the anxiety that's raging in my head on a day-to-day basis. And you know, did people choose to like this type of music, or did they just hear it one day like, damn, that sounds awesome? The same with the rap music. You know, to me, it doesn't sound as appealing. You know, I used to be very staunch in my position of music. I only listened to stuff that I liked, that I deemed had talent and was acceptable to me to listen to. And nowadays, I'm 27. If, you know, a rap song comes on and has a good beat, I really don't care. I don't listen to the message as much. I used to be straight up in the blue pill mindset. Songs that were talking about being degrading to women were out of my catalog. It was just stuff that I didn't really listen to, you know. Things that just talked about using women, abusing women, getting as much sex as possible, being, you know, making mad money. All these things were just, you know, something that wasn't appealing for me to listen to. And a lot of the masses really are, you know, attracted to this type of music, or it's something that they enjoy hearing. They're at the club, they're dancing, they're excited. To me, you turn on some Between the Buried and Me or some of these other bands, you'll get me dancing around the room, rocking out like a crazy person. And it's just, is that part of the X-factor that he's talking about? Like, sorry to go in such a long-winded explanation of music and different other things, but just the fact that I've always had these kind of, I don't want to say exclusive tastes, but I've always had a preference for something that is more intellectual, that is more than face value, an album that you have to listen to maybe 10 times or 15 times all the way through. It could be an hour long until it clicks and it makes sense, and you're like, wow, like, that's what they were trying to say. It's art. It's not just, my nigga this, yo nigga that, gonna do the bitch with the baseball bat, yo. It's like, you know, that I was really against all that type of shit for, like, the longest time. And going back to middle school, you could find me most of the time reading books and kind of engaging in activities that were more by myself, or solitary activities, video games, kind of riding my bike on by myself. Like, my parents got me a bike for Christmas, and I never really went and wrote it. I didn't really go out and try and, like, meet friends. Not that I view the world as hostile, it's just, like, I felt like I always had a hard time almost relating to people and being accepted as part of the herd or as part of the group or the hive or whatever you want to say. And I'm glad, it's led me down this path in life. And also, like Liberation was kind of mentioning, he brought on the point of how a lot of times these guys, with whatever reason caused them to go MGTOW, to stay this certain way, he had mentioned how a lot of these guys had pretty much been told that they needed to be on ADD medication or had some sort of learning disability or something like that, and had equated it to the fact that the brainwashing through the general education system had failed. And I myself have been put on ADD medicine. I've been put on other stuff. I've been told that I need to act a certain way or do a certain thing, and generally I make it through life just fine. I don't know what caused me to, discover MGTOW is really just some Google terms and watching a video from the Dark Knight, the content maker that's no longer in the community, but his words were invaluable, and I will never forget all that he taught me through discovering MGTOW and all his videos that he had. So, this was kind of a lot of rambling. I hope, I don't know if I really led anywhere with this video, but hopefully it leads to a little discussion. What is the difference between us men that have taken the red pill and have decided that they will not be shamed anymore? They will not go back to the plantation. Turd flinging monkey, the zen of zero fucks given. The lifestyle, my whole life has been pretty much setting me up for giving less of a fuck, as I go along, and it is rewarding, but it's also a challenge. It's in my heart. I want to be helpful. I want to be a nice guy. I want to be the kind person that I was raised to be, and it's like I've mentioned before. A lot of other guys say it's hard to undo all that brainwashing, and for whatever the reason, here I am. I'm MGTOW. I'm not a monk. If if the opportunity strikes, I may choose to have sex with somebody, or I may choose to do things like that, but I've awakened to the fact that that's it. That's all I want, is to just get that feeling out and over with, and just be done with it, because once those chemicals, the attachment, all these other things start happening, I've dealt with it before. It can take you a long time to get over it, and it can really fuck you up. So it's best just to continue on with the path you're taking. You guys have obviously found this channel. You're in the community. I hope you continue to stay and just stay strong, because there are guys out there to shame you everywhere, and women that are just looking for a free ride in life, and myself, as I'm getting older, I'm going to be getting to my 30s soon, and I'm sure I'm going to be seeing more of these women that have hit the wall. I'm still in the period where, like, women are in their prime, 27, women are still looking good. So the people that I'd be trying to interact with, people that are attractive, in my opinion, are going to be looking for the upper echelon guys, because, they don't realize their ticking clock is running out. As we're getting closer to our 30s here, and but that's really all I wanted to say. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you have fun, and be safe.